Hey, what's up, everybody?
Clap.
It's Trouble,
And it's Mike.
and we'd like to welcome you to episode 48 of the AO podcast. Now, real quick, before we get into
Yes.
anything, make sure you follow the podcast on all our socials. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and follow us if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Links for all of those are down in the description, as always. Now, before we get into it, you guys obviously see the thumbnail. So you see the two movies that we're going to be reviewing
We're going to
today?
be talking about one way more than the other.
Yeah, because Mike apparently fucking loved this movie as
derogatory. I love this movie in a derogatory way.
But before we get into that, we do want to give. Well, first off, I think we'll just start off with this because we're just going to briefly mention it. We'll give a quick recap now. Unfortunately, for as much as we are fans of West Coast artists because we are from the West Coast ourselves.
We are West Coast people.
It's been some time since the final diss tracks between Ray Vaughn and
Joey Badass
have came out, so it looks like for now, at least as we're recording this, it looks like the battle has ended.
Yeah,
and it's
with 50 rappers jumping in.
Yeah, it was
shit.
there was an insane amount of. We really don't need to get into everything, but there was a lot going on. But, it says it's very unfortunate, but we do have to admit that the West Coast artist took an L on this one.
Joey Badass came in with 3 songs and just destroyed fucking everybody. I mean fucking everybody within that whole short 1 week session.
I will say that. I will give a
shout out to the rappers who did participate because there were some bangers that were there.
Yeah, I will.
And shout out to Reason for having the best song to come out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Reason would probably be my favorite out of the ones that have
whatever the fuck it was. I can't.
Out of the ones that came out from the West Coast artists, I gotta say that Reason did definitely have my favorite one in my opinion.
Yeah, the Dead Apple.
And then obviously with Joey, I still love Crash Dummy.
Crash Dummy's really good. And my favorite out of the whole thing is easily My Town with Loaded Lux coming in. I think that track is just fucking bars amazing. The essence of hip hop come through really thoroughly with that heavy 5.5 minute track. And then just the way and Loaded Lux came in as a surprise feature. That was such a really good. Yeah, really good sound. Really good song.
Yeah,
really
but
good
overall,
song.
we'll just say it was
West Coast took L's.
This is a fun thing in general for hip hop, just to get all these tracks in general from these artists.
It was, and then it wasn't because a lot of these tracks did come out pretty ass. I'm not gonna front.
Hey, listen, we don't gotta talk about that.
we don't gotta talk about. Just the constant.
Such a dick. I had to say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sorry, but he didn't.
He didn't bring it. He didn't bring it for you.
He was the weakest to me. I'm sorry. I understand that he's a very talented battle rapper.
Really talented battle rapper.
But there's a conversation. There's a conversation that I heard, and I don't know from which hip hop outlet I heard this from.
Mm-hmm.
But
you heard it.
There's a difference between battle rappers and artists. Because
rap artists,
because there is a skill to make an actual good song, and
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, and a lot from what I've heard from that conversation is that's one of the main things that battle rappers specifically struggle with doing. And I'm not gonna lie, in this battle, I mean, Daylight kind of proved that. Yeah. Unfortunately.
There was some terrible mixing throughout all these things. I think the second track Ray Vaughn dropped about that P. Diddy shit, I thought was
the GoldenEye one?
Yeah, the GoldenEye. First of all, I think the whole angle, he tried to meet the Grams, but he didn't have the momentum or the aura or the hatred.
I think the thing that didn't work as well is that
Meet the Grams
and Crash Dummy. Joey basically just rebutted that. So
yeah, and that's crazy, but also some of the Daylight shit also just sounded fucking terrible.
That first one that he released was fucking awful because it was. I heard somebody say this and that reviewed it and it couldn't have been more accurate of a description. They said that in that very first disc that he released, it sounded like he was legit trying to fight the beat.
Oh man, yeah. That's that first track was a little off, and then that GoldenEye one I don't think was good. And as much as I do appreciate whole era for what it is, I do think and I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna mention this too because everybody fucking mentions his name in every fucking track. Like people trying to pull. I feel like everyone's was trying to just pull a K Dot, like just trying to pull a Kendrick. They're like, oh, let's drop really fast, and then let's be bombarded. Let's bring out the full hatred. Let's show our versatility. I will say,
now looking at it,
but
like,
it's
in
like
retrospect after that it's over. I will say the amount of fucking diss tracks that we got was very overwhelming and unnecessary.
Yeah, and because like a lot of the songs just didn't sound good, and a lot of the songs just like had like like you listen to something like even like Meet the Grams, which might not be the most re-listenable track, even though I play it sometimes a lot. But like the purpose of Meet the Grams is not only that he had this shit well in advance, but also the fact that he was able to improvise very, very well and being able to predict his enemy well. And also with the Drake Kendrick shit, those two guys fucking hate each other and shit. There's like, yeah, sure, there's like a lot of like dissing and bringing up shit here and there, especially with the GoldenEye fucking track. But like, it just doesn't feel needed.
Was like top tier level of hate.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was based on actual hatred they had with each other, not just like this kind of like. Sometimes it felt like nonsense to me, like the beef. It's just like, okay, like I wish all that effort was more put to like actual albums that will stand better as a test of time, But shout out to everybody who did participate, bringing bars, tons of bars.
Albums, I guess I just saw on Twitter last night that I guess Joey is going to be releasing a new album soon. So I'm actually I'm actually interested in that, and I'm not going to lie, as somebody who just recently listened to Ray Vaughn's latest album, not to say that it was bad, but I will say personally I enjoyed his first album way more.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna look that good if Joey's album is better than his.
And I think his last album, 2000, was a really decent album too. And like, I think this beef also made me realize how much of a Joey fan I am, because I haven't listened to him in years, but I used to listen to All American Badass in 1999 back in the day.
Sure
it was really
tracks off of All
1999, man. That shit is fucking special. That's a special mixtape. It feels like an album. And so there's that. All right. But besides that, My Town is my shit though. I still listen to that. I fucking love that shit. So that's my favorite track, and we can move on.
Yeah, real quick. The only thing that I wanted to mention before we get into the movies.
We're gonna mention
just because this is kind of crazy. Like it doesn't seem like a big deal. Like when you first think about it, but it's kind of crazy when you actually like think about like the way that like the country's going, because the U.S. Mint just announced recently that starting next year they will no longer be producing pennies.
There's like a fucking bajillion pennies. I think.
No, but do you understand the significance of that?
No, but also it kind of like it's gonna fuck up the value of the money really fast, honestly. Like, I get pennies are fucking like useless to a lot of people, but like when you're like scrambling for pennies, and it's just like,
what I'm saying. That's why I find it crazy, because they're like, it's like legit. There was this form of currency that we were so used to that like now it's, because like it makes you think like how far, like I wonder if we probably won't see it in our lifetime, but it makes you think like how slowly are they gonna like move towards like just completely like not using money anymore, like at all.
Yeah, no, it's like that's weird. So
physical money for that matter.
Yeah. So that's pennies. That's weird. I kind of forgot about that and I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, that feels like that's gonna like have a big giant ripples that probably none of us are fucking prepared for. Like, as usual for America to make dumb fucking decisions without thinking, and like us having to face the consequences in ways we didn't even comprehend. To be fair,
this is something that's not surprising.
It's not. That's why I said leave it to fucking America to fucking do that shit. So.
No, but I mean, in the sense of like,
especially in this era.
that's like I mean, I don't. I see it as honestly like something that would happen regardless, because I do see us eventually. Like I said, we probably won't see it in our lifetime, but I do see us in the the late or the distant future. I do see us like moving away from actual physical currency.
Yeah, it'll be all like fucking crypto in our head. It'd be like, all right, that'll be 3 schmarbles. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. Like fucking 3 schmarbles and a schmaff, you know. So
what the fuck is that shit? That fucking episode, he's like, that'll be like 4 schmeckles. That's why it reminded me of that Rick and Morty shit.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Rick and Morty, so that was just like off the top of my head.
I think maybe I think I probably finished the first season. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even know you actually watched Rick and Morty.
I will say, no, I will say I did get in. I did get put onto it pretty late. Yeah. Like I didn't watch it when it first came out.
Oh yeah, that show is fucking old now. It's kind of crazy how old that show is. But like, yeah, but pennies and shit.
Yeah,
but like
not the wise ones, because we talking about a different clown.
Oh fuck me. Oh, come on, that was good. That was crazy.
That was a
fucking
good one.
Fast. You fucking this fucking Joey Badass.
Yeah, that was like the Joey
shit.
Badass from
I know, it's fucking ass cheeks fucking.
Oh, that line is so dumb, but it still makes me laugh.
Because like it's fucking shout out to AZ Chike, who was like at the GNX.
Oh yeah, he came out
GNX tour. Like imagine one of your first big stadium performances is with Kendrick at the fucking SoFi Stadium.
Fucking dope.
Crazy, but like Joey Badass got you with that one fucking bar. That shit is crazy. That's how fucking good Joey Badass is.
But no, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about a different clown, because we're gonna be talking about Clown in a Cornfield.
And to a lot of people, this probably looks like because this was basically made in pennies and movie talk, you know, because this movie had like only a budget of 900K, which is, you know, sounds like a fucking fuck ton of money, but for movies that's like a fucking smidge. Nowadays. It's a fucking smidge, but like it's about, you know, honestly a kind of typical slasher.
Wait, speaking of budgets.
With clowns.
Like don't give your rating. But tell them what you fucking said like in your Letterboxd review.
Oh yeah, this movie has a fucking like a 900K budget, but it still looks so much better than Wicked. Wicked cost like too much money to make, and for a fucking Disney Channel movie, you know, it's fucking what feels like a fucking Disney Channel movie.
That shit cracked me up when I first saw it.
Dude. So, and I think I'm gonna just start with the compliments I have for this movie. I do think for the budget, I think it does. I think it not only looks really colorful. It's like not afraid to fucking be like a colorful looking movie at times. That also like I also do think like I think the main actors were actually pretty, you know, for a movie like a low budget slasher movie. I thought the acting was like surprising.
You said like the main actress was really good.
The main actress and the dad, I thought they were like decent for what the script was. I think they were pulling everything out from that script and using it really well. I thought they were really it helps engage with the audience if you actually have like likable main characters.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say is that going into this movie, like I kind of knew, I'm not gonna lie, just even before I even like kind of knew anything about the movie and before I had watched any trailers.
When you just see the title Clowns of the Cornfield,
I kind of already knew.
You know what you're gonna go into.
Yeah, like I knew what this movie was gonna be, and so I had a certain expectation with this movie. And for me personally, I'm happy to say that it met it, just because it was a movie that was just fun. Like it's not one of those where you really
did its job.
Yeah, it's not one where you really have to pay attention to the story that much. It's just, you know, like, do you have like super dope kills, and do you have at least somewhat likable characters?
Do you have, you know, it isn't in a violent nature. You know, it's not just a motherfucker walking around.
Dude, every time I think about that movie, I fucking hate it more. You know what? That's the movie that I need to rewatch so I can hate watch it, because I fucking hated that movie so much.
Maybe we could re-review it, but I also don't want to watch that movie again.
It's literally just that. For those of you who have never seen it,
it's just a chill vibe.
It's literally like a 90%.
It's a chill vibe, bro.
90% of the movie is literally a back shot of the fucking serial killer walking through like different parts of the forest.
And listen, I watch whole ass movies where motherfuckers are walking without saying a sound, and there's a bunch of them that are very engaging that are not in a violent nature. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that artsy excuse crap either.
Hey, put it this way: you could go take a shit like in the theater and then come back and you wouldn't have missed anything.
I don't know why I thought of just taking a shit in the theater on the seat. Like I was just like, this movie's so bad it makes you want to shit in the theater. I was like, what kind of comparison is that?
Fucking like, dude, I don't know where your like head comes up, but like you didn't hear the full thing. You just automatically came up with your own ending.
I just interpreted the beginning of your sentence.
Like fucking like a human AI.
Fucking, and then I think. And,
imagine if AI was like fitted to your personality.
No, I don't want that shit at all. I don't want that shit at all. Your AI would be
fucking disturbing.
My AI would have been like, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? And then your AI is just gonna, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, your AI would make that shit.
I would.
Your AI, I'm telling you.
My AI would like always make the most like offhanded comment to ever fucking exist, because usually I have to hide that shit, my intrusive thoughts in my head all the time.
It's funny when they escape sometimes, like because we've gotten some on the podcast.
Yeah, and then when it escapes, it's like really like jaw drop. Even to those who like know me a lot, when I say like the intrusive thoughts, they're like, "What the fuck did he just say? Ball fairy?"
Yeah, that was probably my favorite. We need to make like ball fairy t-shirts.
It's like testicles, but with our faces and some wings and shit, you know. So
the wings coming out of the sack.
Oh god, fuck it, and it has like the Bioshock font too. So it was like
stupid. I hate that I know what you're talking about. No, but fuck. Okay. So,
what a distraction. But back to the clowns in the cornfield, and like to make and another thing. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm just gonna basically spoiler alert. I'm just gonna give
we have to always give that because we never have spoiler-free reviews.
Just like because like I said, like the story doesn't really mean shit. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna give a quick rundown of what like the basic premise of the movie is. The movie is basically just this teenage girl and her dad moved from I'm assuming like she said she was from Philadelphia, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they moved from Philadelphia to like a small town called Kettle something, I forgot what the fuck. But so they moved to this small town, and like her dad's like I think like some sort of doctor. So basically she hangs around this group of local teens who the sheriff claims are like the bad bunch of the group, and then
they're just a bunch of filmmakers.
Yeah, you find out that they turned the town's mascot into a serial killer, basically, like for their YouTube videos. But then actual clowns start coming out and killing people. So that's essentially just what the basic idea of the movie is.
Yeah. So just clowns just causing a bunch of shit. In the beginning, takes place in the 90s. I loved how the second shot's a long take, and like the second thing you see is like lesbians making out.
Oh yeah, that was fucking cool.
So fucking harshly out of fucking nowhere, and then it leads to like someone getting high. Like they're starting a joint, and then they walk to the cornfield.
Oh,
and
that was fucking. I thought. Wait, real quick. That one thing. I thought it was like. It was a stupid ass fucking scene, but it kind of low key made me laugh a little bit. It was when like the guy, it's like a stoner dude, right? Mm-hmm. And he's making out with his girlfriend. And like
terrible actor.
I like
it's kind of bad.
That's what made it funny. But like,
shout out to that fool.
So he's like going. They're like having a party in the middle of a cornfield, and like the girl's like going into the cornfield, and like he's like the fucking dude's like, wait, like. I thought we were gonna get high first.
And then she's like, titties.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah.
He's like, we can get high later and shit. I'm just like, I think if I'm gonna start with, if everything that's gonna fucking happen in this movie, like, and nothing is like surprising in this movie. Which
I will say, I like the way that the real quick before you get past the intro scene, I do like the way that the title sequence came up, like. After he like stabbed one of them,
he puts them in the sky and then boom, it just like
that was pretty dope.
Yeah, so like, and again, you from that beginning scene, you kind of know what's gonna fucking happen next. Like she meets with the fucking kids, the adults are like, well, those kids are fucking awful, and then like the kids start dying in like very decent way. There's I'm gonna look up the actor's name actually because he's actually the first one to like get killed, which sucks because he actually was pretty funny. And one of our favorite scenes in the movie is when like that dude and one of the other friends gets in like a fake fight in the liquor store.
So they're like trying to steal booze. So they go into a liquor store, and two of the kids, they like fucking start arguing, but their fucking argument is about how like apparently one of them's fucking the other one's grandma.
And he's like, "You fucked my grandma, bro." It's like, "Yeah, I fucked your grandma." It's like, they're distracting the main clerk so like they can steal the booze.
You know what I loved? The thing that I loved about the scene is how extra they made it, because that was already like good enough if they would have left it at that. But then they pushed it further when like they're like, he's like, "I gotta tell you something, man." What? He's like, "She's fucking pregnant."
He's like, "I'm gonna be your granddaddy soon." And I'm like, that was very unexpected way to rob a liquor store.
Me the fuck up.
That was a very unexpected way to rob a liquor store, which it was a really funny scene. I think those two actors were.
I'm gonna be your granddaddy. That shit cracked me the fuck up.
And, there's a lot of like long takes in this movie that were like, for what it is pretty visually, interesting, I guess. And like the kills also, like, I don't think the kills are like outlandish, but I do think they work in a way. I do think that my favorite kill is later on is I really like when we're skipping a lot. Is there a scene similar to near the beginning you're thinking about?
I mean, we don't have to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, they fucking do YouTube shit. Then the victims, they have the parade, and the main dude kind of looks like Elon Musk to me. He kind of look. But shout out to that actor, because that's a really good actor. You see an actor who's playing that role as the mayor, who also plays one of the other characters' who was also one of the other characters' father, but like he's the mayor. And then, like, I thought he was actually, like, for, like, gave a really good Elon Musk impression. Did you hear that Elon Musk is also, like, out of politics? Like, he's not donating to any, you know that him and Trump had a huge fight?
Oh, yeah, they pushed him the fuck out.
Yeah, they oh, God, they just and he feels used. You see him, his Twitter thing's, like, just, like a black, like, profile pic, and everyone's retweeting any day now. Like, just, like...
That's the funniest fucking part, because he was kissing Trump's ass so much, and then like at the very beginning, Trump's like, "Hey, you know what? Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, he's like, once he got in, he's like, "All right, you're doing a little too much now."
I think it was when he brought his kid into the Oval Office.
When he fucking picked his nose and put it on the fucking desk.
That's still hands down one of the best fucking things to come out of this shit that I've seen so far.
Literally like fucking like Silicon Valley shit.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was fucking hilarious.
But like, but shout out to that actor who played the mayor, because I thought he was very, very good in that movie.
So I guess we can just like essentially spoil the ending, and then we can just like talk about our favorite kills. So basically, you find out that
all the adults are the problem.
Yeah, all the adults are like the ones that are being the clowns, because they're like, I guess it's like their tradition or whatever to like kill young people. Yeah,
and they did it throughout the decades, from the 60s to the 90s to now.
Yeah, and then you know what? Like a little bit of a plot hole, but I was like, if this is a tradition, how the fuck are there any more people in this town?
Because like I think it's also like, it's obvious like a metaphor for like, the state of America that's like
no, I know, but fuck the metaphor. How does that make sense for
in the movie? Well, it's about fucking killer clowns on the cornfield. I'm not looking. The last thing I'm looking for is sense.
But I'm like, I know. But here's the thing. The way my mind works is like trying to like come up with answers to this shit. So like, like people just keep moving there.
Yeah, they just fucking, and they always find ways. And it's like, if it's a tradition and the young people suck, why do?
Like, then
that means that
like, why is everybody old here?
Then that means the dude who should have been like, there's some things that
with a movie like this, you're gonna get some holes.
Yeah, you get it. Why do you have to say it like that? Just some holes, like the movie holes with Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, what did I say? That's what I said. I said some holes.
Yeah, but like I think, well, maybe because like I'm in I put on psychedelic imagery on the TV that's recording, so I've been paying attention to that a lot. Like, you can't see it, but if you see me just looking over, like right here,
the fucking Microsoft media player from like the early 2000s fucking playing in the background.
It's supposed to represent a psychedelic trip. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. I'm probably not gonna take anytime soon, so like, I might as well just have a visual of what it feels like now. But
no, yeah, but I guess so. Basically, that's essentially what the movie is. So what were some of your favorite kills?
Honestly, like I do like the main like guy character who's like, at first you think he's gonna be the love interest and you find out he's like closeted, then it turns out that a character
that reveal at the end cracked me the fuck up.
And then we met earlier like a weirdo character who turns out to be like a former lover and shit.
Yeah,
he loves hunting.
And I'm not gonna lie, that was one thing that I found kind of like really funny about this movie was that twist at the end. Like, what the fuck is? Because it wasn't like it's not like the usual where like they draw it out and like they have like this slow like scene where it reveals. Like, it was just super quick.
Like, it was like very rapid. It was like, we're gay, let's move on. So he's like, we're about to be killed by clowns. I'm gay. Yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I actually did enjoy. I was like, there's like a subversion here out of like the basicness of basicness here, but like I felt like it was like, a decent subversion. And I like the fact like when the dad and the daughter see each other again after being separated and like being trapped and tortured, like while they were like making up because character arc. You hear in the background them just fiercely making out, which I thought. Hilarious. And a movie you did compare this to, which I completely agree on, and like in very similar ways, is Hard Eyes.
Yeah,
it had that horror comedic effect.
Yeah, I felt like the same sentiment that I had with Hard Eyes. It's kind of like the same thing that I got with this one. The only reason why I would say like I like Hard Eyes a little bit better,
I do think it's better,
is because it was a themed movie.
And it was a really good themed movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, for like a Valentine's Day horror movie, I think it's honestly probably one of the best ones.
Yeah, and then this one's just like clowns, kill. And it's hard to ask for something more with something like this, but also I've seen movies that do have a basic formula, but like are able to like expand it a lot more, even with like very small budgets. So
who knows? If they get a sequel, they could expand it more.
Yeah. Well. I mean, shit. It made a lot like within the first opening weekend because of how fucking cheap it was. Like they did like $3 million, and it's just like shit. You already made up like 3 times your budget and shit. So shout out to everybody involved. You just gotta support these like low budget, just indie movies in general. Movies that are not gonna get that much of a spotlight than others.
Imagine if they like get a shit ton of money for a sequel, but they only use the amount that like they spent on the first one. So like, fuck it, let's just. Spend the rest.
That's what the fucking Terrifier director did. He was like, I'm just gonna add $5 more. And he's been fucking doing really well. So like, I think it is like a good time for like indie, very low budget indie horror movies. No matter how fucking bad they are, you gotta support them.
It's low-key crazy how successful that franchise made them.
No, it's really and with a movie like this, it already did, it already made up the money it already spent, both on marketing and with the films itself. So shout out to everybody involved. I'm not gonna like rewatch this. I do think it's good for what it is. I just like movies that are like this, that do more with like its basic concept. So
yeah. So overall, I think it was a fun movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
I gave it a 5 out of 10. I think it's like in the middle where it's like I think it's good. I just it's not really for me, and I don't really get much out of it. But I'm not gonna like hate on it because there were parts I did like, oh, okay, that was cool and that was nice. It was like a nice good time.
Yeah, but for that, you know what? I'm actually not really in a hurry for it to be tomorrow because
yeah. Oh, that was fucking awful. That was not as good as the transition. I'm actually not. Imagine you fucked that up. I'm actually not hurried to be yesterday. Fuck.
No, I would have hated myself for that. But no, that one definitely didn't happen.
But we're gonna talk about a movie that I was really excited for.
Literally, you are the only.
And person. I have context to this movie that not a lot of people do.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But like, we're right now. Spoilers. What fuck even happened in that movie?
Yeah,
it's like
there's like we can give spoilers, but like this movie we could talk about it and even unintentionally give spoilers because we don't even know what the fuck happened. We're gonna be talking about the Weeknd's "Hurry Up Tomorrow" movie with Jenna Ortega,
co-written and directed by Trey Edward Schultz. And I wanted to say that real quick because I'm a fan.
Apparently, he fell off.
Apparently so. Apparently, I think now he has. But like, I'm a big fan of this director, Krisha, and It Comes at Night. I really love those movies. Those movies also don't have.
It Comes at Night sounds familiar, but I don't think
a lot of people don't like that movie, but I will defend that movie. I think that movie is a strong representation of paranoia and what happens when that tightens. And I really like that movie. I really like Krisha. I used to like the movie Waves, but I will admit it's been a while, and I think that movie has aged pretty poorly. And I am probably not going to rewatch it because I'm probably going to feel like a fucking idiot for liking it in the first place. But then Waves came out in 2019, so I've been low key waiting for his next movie, for a long time. So when I heard about like him collaborating with The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega for something, I was like, all right, that's interesting, but at least I'll get a new movie out of this. And I looked up, apparently the movie came out before the album was conceived. Like they made the movie and then The Weeknd was like, you know what, I'm gonna use this movie as the basis to help me.
So the fucking movie came first?
Yeah, like the conception of the movie came first before the album. Like
fucking wild.
And that's just like that's crazy to me because that is crazy. Like he made the movie and it was stuck in limbo for like a good year or two.
He started out with a shitty idea but somehow made a good album.
Yes, and like I was like, okay, cool. And at first I didn't even know it was for this album. I didn't click the two when I saw the trailer.
I want to say real quick, this is how much I like this is how much of a joke I thought that this was at first when I first saw the trailer, because I think I even mentioned it like when we first talked about like before we saw this movie and
we talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I legit thought when we first witnessed the trailer for this movie in theaters, I really genuinely thought that it was gonna be one of those because you know how like a lot of artists will do like they'll do like films that will coincide with their album.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be something like
it
that.
Technically does.
Why? Because he's fucking singing one of the songs in it? No. But, like, so that's what I thought that this was going to be. But then when I saw it was an actual full-length fucking movie with Jenna Ortega, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's like a movie that could have been cut so fucking much. But, like, and then, like, because, like, when we saw the trailer, I was, like, interested because I am a fan of this director. But it wasn't until the reviews started coming in and that everybody was fucking shitting their dick on this fucking movie. Which I was not
surprised at all.
I was like, okay, we have to see it. I went from being interested to needing to see this fucking movie. So I told you, okay, we're going to watch this shit the day after Clowns in the Cornfield.
I had to pay for this.
I didn't get the A-list. I keep telling you, was this the movie to convince you?
Maybe. That was...
I also invited my fucking depressed ass friend too. Shout out to him for coming through. That was
an awful thing to do.
Listen, he cannot complain because he watched the entirety of The Idol, because so whatever movie he watches, he can't complain about because he did that. So that's why I was like, you know what? You hate The Idol. I want to hear your opinions on this fucking thing. And here's also the thing. Before we watched the movie, I listened to the album a couple times.
Still haven't heard it.
I think it was pretty fucking amazing. I think I've only listened to 2 Weeknd albums too. And I know I'm fucking behind and late and everything on that, yada yada yada. But like this album is a convincing factor to really go back.
I've only heard Dawn FM.
And I think the album is pretty amazing, and it is a 90-minute album. but it goes by really fucking fast. Like, he really puts it all in those songs. So I was like, okay, this album is good. I know the movie's not going to be good, but at least the album itself, like, for something that, like, was an afterthought of the movie, it's fucking kind of amazing. So when I went to watch the movie, we went in. First of all, I fucking stepped on a fucking real big puddle.
Okay, so let's
by the fucking movie
so
theater.
Let's talk about this. So we were walking, right, and this motherfucker always he's like wearing his fucking sandals with his fucking bare ass feet out there.
I love my toes out.
And so we were fucking walking and we were talking about something, so we weren't paying fucking attention. And I just hear and I was like, what the fuck?
And I yelled, fuck. Like, by the way, they're like, because it's like we're going to premiere night of like both Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of people.
So there was a bunch of families walking through, and I just yell, fuck my fucking sandal, and like just like I had to fucking go to the fucking walk inside the theater, go to the fucking bathroom, and fucking put my feet up in the sink like a fucking hobo, and fucking like just wash my fucking foot.
I wish I
you should have went in with me.
Just that fucking imagery of you like fucking having your foot on the thing.
Oh man, that shit sucked ass. I'm like, this is how we're starting off the fucking
to be fair, that
movie experience.
This is the proper way to start off a fucking movie like this.
You know, and then like we made it to the theater. Both of these people are not excited at fucking all to watch this movie.
Only one that's
I was so excited to see this movie. I was like, I was very excited. As soon as I heard it's really fucking bad, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna fucking go.
So we sit down.
Yeah, we sit down.
Next to us,
a bunch of fucking Gen Alphas, right?
They're either high school. They were either in high school or had just graduated.
You know, it's bad when I think, oh yeah, Gen Z is the older one now. I'm like, oh fuck me. Oh shit, yeah. So like a bunch of Gen Alphas came in. These are fucking making a whole bunch of noise.
I hate all of these names for the people, like younger people. I really do.
Yeah,
but,
it's just like
so there was just these kids that were next to us.
Some whippersnappers,
and they were some of the commentary that they were making prior to the film starting.
It was that was also when I was because I was like, who's gonna see this movie? I'm like, oh yeah, well, people who know of the it doesn't even have to be fans. It could just be like, oh, weekend movie and Jenna Ortega. All right,
and we know how we can tell that because literally one of the questions that was fucking asked by this group of kids was, what the fuck is the name of this movie again?
He was like, well, and then one of them also all fucking, is this like a scary movie?
Like one of the girls that was with them was like, is this gonna be a scary movie?
Like, so they had no idea what the fuck they were like fucking into. But also like, that's also like ironically the most proper way to like go into a movie, to just not know even the title, not know anything about anything, just like, go in.
Like now that I actually think about that,
that's an awesome way to go into watching a movie. Honestly,
that's what I was gonna say. How do you think you would have felt about this movie if you would have gone into it completely blind, like not knowing that The Weeknd was involved, not knowing that it was his movie? Like, how would you have felt like watching it completely blind? I
think I would still feel the same fucking way, but just being like, who the fuck is this asshole? And not like, why the fuck is The Weeknd acting? You know? So I like, because like for someone who's playing himself, he's kind of fucking terrible. And everything is based around the shit he fucking sings and writes about. And
literally, we'll get into that later.
And he still fucking sucks in this movie. You know, shout out to him. You know, keep taking those classes.
Don't give shout outs.
Keep taking those classes. You got the money.
Don't falsely encourage him.
You got
Listen, some people are meant to sing and some people are meant to act.
No, if he likes it, just keep going. You know, that's it.
Don't give him false hope.
Just don't make a fucking movie about it. By the way, like, this movie starts off just fucking, you can kind of get the gist, you know. It has a bunch of colors, it has a bunch of things flashing and colors going, because like, and this is an hour and 40 movie, not that long, but this movie makes you feel every fucking second of this fucking, it literally could have been an hour on YouTube and it would have been fine. It would have done so much better than what the fuck it's going for now, being a full-length feature film released in fucking theaters and shit.
All right, sorry about that. If you saw it cut, the battery on our camera just died.
Fucking it was also exhausted.
Yeah,
these fucking batteries be fucking tired of our ass.
Yeah, they really. But luckily, we had another one. So
thank God.
But speaking of like bullshit, the one scene that I saw at the beginning of this movie that I realized how much bullshit this movie was gonna be was, so the movie starts off with he's like backstage and he's getting ready for a concert. And he's like trying to hype himself up. And mind you, the first fucking shot is him like doing that stupid shit at the beginning.
The raspberries to help him with his vocals and shit because he's a singer.
Like that shit went on for a little too long.
Yeah, no, a main part about this movie that I think is very terrible is the pacing. And with this movie has a lot of long, artsy shots that the camera loves going in circles for a very long time. And for that, it kind of, since it's a one shot without edits, it kind of just wastes time too. Like, when you get a long shot wrong, you really feel it, and it not only drags for the audience, but it's just like, why the fuck there's a lot of reasons why editing exists for a certain amount of things, and I don't think Trey Edward Schultz and Weekend didn't give a fuck about that. They're like, let's just film for like fucking forever, and then him getting prepped, and then fucking the Irish actor from the Banshees and Inisherin, who is already Irish and is playing an Irish dude, but I don't know what the fuck his accent is either. It kind of sounds like
it has to suck. So this movie was already too long. But imagine having to be the fucking editor and sit through all the raw footage.
The editor is the director. He edited the movie too. So he
at least he had to make some poor fucking
some poor bastard.
Editor, like some no-name editor fucking sit through this shit.
It's like, all right, try to make a story out of this. But like Trey Edward Schultz, for how talented he is, he's also like, he does a lot of his own things. Maybe that also is a reason why this movie is very flawed.
So the scene that I saw,
but
when he's getting hyped
with this when he's getting hyped, and then the fucking funny Irish sounding dude comes in.
And then we just see a dude wearing fucking boxing gear. And the Weeknd just starts fucking... Now, mind you, he's like in like a robe, right? So I legit, at that point in the movie theater, I looked over to you and like, what the fuck? Is this fucking Rocky? Like,
I know. It's a very, very heavy Raging Bull reference off the gate. I'm like, oh, okay. Which I don't mind film references. But like, if it's just like shoehorned in because you fucking can't think of anything else to like get the movie going, it's like, it's fucking just like a little bit low-key embarrassing to see. But like, and it's trying to be like this this hardcore drama about the Weeknd just analyzing himself, portraying himself as like, wow, look how fucking flawed I am. I'm such like a fucking human being,
movie just about how toxic he was.
I know, and it's just like, we could get this from any of his albums at all, and it doesn't even like go like deep. Like, it's kind of like very surface level. Like, it thinks it's like outlier and like so unique, but in reality we could, like the Runaway short film that like Kanye did for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I think is a really good, like, Kanye directed that too, and he like did a really good job with that short film. But it's also a short film. It's like 30 to 40 minutes, not a fucking hour and 40.
Speaking of fucking long takes in this movie, when we get fucking introduced to Jenna Ortega's character,
who has a name I didn't even fucking know. It's like Amina or something.
Wait, she wasn't supposed to be playing herself?
No. What, you thought she was playing herself?
The fucking Weeknd's playing himself.
Yeah, but like, no, she's playing a character.
What the fuck? Like, it's not like, then why didn't they just get some like fucking Then why didn't they just get like some actress that like isn't as famous? Because at least that way you can be like,
because Jenna Ortega, needed money, and apparently this offered a lot of money.
Like, you even said that, like, there's a scene where you just fucking see a close up of her fucking face constantly when she's at a concert.
Yeah, that shit was really funny
like,
too. When the Weeknd fucks up,
like, nobody there fucking looks over and like, hey, that's fucking Wednesday.
No, everybody's not playing. Everybody's like playing a character except the Weeknd. He's just playing himself.
That makes this movie so much more fucking worse.
Yeah. It's like, oh, let's hire like one of the most in demand actresses to be like, hey, want to just be like a stupid, like crazy fan in our fucking movie where you just cry and stare at things a lot, and it's just like, yeah, okay. In the beginning, she's like burning down her house, and like you could tell,
and she goes through like each individual.
You could tell Trey, who's edited this fucking movie, so I'm gonna call him out on it. Just like, it's just like, yeah, just put the all the footage we recorded, let's just put it fucking right there in there, and you could tell like it. Yeah, no, it's a little
this movie should have been an
abrasive and annoying, and like all the scenes feel like
the 40 extra minutes was just all the random footage.
I know it's just them walking, them staring at each other, them crying. This movie also has a lot of crying. You get to see The Weeknd cry a lot. You get to see Jenna Ortega cry a lot. One of my favorite parts is when he's like, The Weeknd's like really breaking down because like he was in a toxic relationship, which he did, and he's like very broken about it. The fucking Irish dude is like, oh come on man, we all believe in you. You're a god, man. I fucking love you, brother. I fucking love. I'm like, is this dude from fucking Philadelphia? What the fuck is this? Like the accent really did not. I don't, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's not his fucking actual accent because I've seen him in other shit and he's really good in other shit. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do.
In other movies, like, does he even have like an accent at all?
Yeah. Like, some movies he's playing, like, he has an English accent. Some movies he has, like, an American accent.
Oh, but I mean, have you heard him, like, actually normally speak?
I'm pretty sure I have. Does not sound that whatever he sounded like here does not sound familiar to what I fucking heard.
Yeah, because I'm like, I wonder now that we heard that terrible accent, I'm curious to actually like look.
Like his voice, his voice is not as deep as that. He's like, oh, I love you, brother.
Like, I want to see like an interview with him because I want to see what his actual voice sounds like.
Because he's a really good actor, and I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do here. But like that scene, but also it's like. The Weeknd is also trying to be like, oh, trauma, look at me, look how human I am. But like a lot of these people are just telling him how fucking great he is and how awesome he is and how his music fucking speaks to people. Oh, and not to mention like when he does go out and perform and loses his voice, which is based on a real incident that happened where he lost his voice midway through a performance at the SoFi Stadium, which could have been like an interesting thing to tackle, but it's not interesting at all.
Hey,
the way it's tackled.
Speaking of the youngins that were sitting next to us,
I
don't know if you caught this, but I don't know if it was in the because they have like two scenes in this movie where they like show him performing at a concert.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was in the first one or the second one when he's breaking down.
And those long takes feel like a drag too. But
there was a scene where he like kind of did something with his tongue.
Oh yeah,
and the fucking dude, the kids next to us were cracking the fuck up.
Which apparently he does at the concerts. He fucking does a little, which is like that's just fucking really funny.
That shit cracked me up.
But also like it just looks goofy. He's trying to aura, like, farm his aura, but, like, none of the aura is translating through the fucking screen. Like, it just looks cringe. And The Weeknd, is one of the most famous artists in the fucking world. One of the most influential artists in the past 15 fucking years. But no amount of money or influence or even talent can make you fucking act good.
That's what I'm telling you. You should don't tell him to keep acting.
Oh my god!
But that's the last thing he needs to fucking hear.
No, don't listen to us. You're so amazing, bro. You're you're supernatural, brother. You're supernatural, brother. I love you, brother. That scene took me I was like, I can't believe we're watching this, and since everything's a long take, everything just lasts way longer than expected. And then when he does perform and chokes, he just sees Jenna Ortega, and Jenna Ortega looks at him and and then she just keeps making these dumb straight faces.
In the theater, this just cracked me up. In the theater, I vividly remember like when that scene was happening. And they kept shooting back to her face and then to The Weeknd. You legit leaned over to me and like, dude, Jenna Ortega's stupid fucking face like taking me out.
And then she's like crying because like she sees him being human. It's like, oh my god, he's so godlike. So when he runs off the stage, she jumps over the fence, tells the security guard, he touched me, and then like runs off. I'm like, you have to stay there.
And then the thing too that like, yes. And that's like not the only security guard they're gonna have over there.
Yeah, like there's at least 3 in the scene, but she goes to one and then walks away. Like the fucking and which none of that makes sense. Also, but also she did.
This is what I'm saying. This is why it was so fucking stupid that it wasn't actually Jenna Ortega playing herself, because then at least in that sense, it would have made more sense as to how she got backstage, because they're gonna be like, oh, it's fucking Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, you thought she was playing herself. That's really fucking funny. Her name's Anima or some shit like that.
That's why the majority of the shit didn't make sense, because I was like, why the fuck
is Wednesday?
Yeah, like why is nobody noticing that that's Wednesday? Like some fucking kid, like somebody didn't notice. Like, isn't that the girl from X?
It's
like,
fucking. That's fucking. And she needs to fire her agent, by the way. She's like, and also she executive produced this, so she helped put money into this project, wow. which is actually crazy because like he was like, oh, I wanted to be involved for some fucking reason, So and she goes backstage. And then, like, she's walking around, the Weeknd's like, no, I'm gonna leave. And then they meet up, and then the Weeknd's like, no, she's with me. And then there's a whole section where, first of all, they get in a car, they're staring at each other in the car for like fucking 5 fucking minutes without saying anything. And I'm just like, all of this, like, why wasn't this just a 30-second fucking, at least 30 seconds max? But Trey Edward Schultz is like, we have all this footage, so we're just gonna here. We're also, just gonna cut back and forth for no fucking reason. The one
thing that you're gonna notice throughout this movie is that, literally the only way that the actual album is tied to this film is that the fucking soundtrack, the backdrop and the soundtrack for this whole movie is the fucking album.
Is the songs from the album. And not even all the songs, like 3 to 5 fucking max, I guess. But also, like, and even like when he's like partying and shit, and one of the only few things I liked about this movie was like when the Irish dude does like coke like on the table, house. And then he's like humping these like the air while he's on the ground, and I was like, okay, that's a thing. Mostly because that actor is a really good actor and knows how to be fucking funny, and is like not is relying on his own instincts rather than anything of the director or some shit like that. And when the camera spins around in the car, and I really like those type of Edward Schultz type shots where it's like the camera going around in like a circle, especially in a car. But here it's fucking super annoying and super disorienting. Like it's like it really doesn't really. Yeah, sure, it's like a party scene. Everyone's fucked up. With a coke. The Weeknd's drinking and doing so much drugs in this movie. It actually goes to a comedic level when he's like breaking down before the concert.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Like, when I saw that, whenever I saw those things about like him doing coke or like drinking, like I legit looked over to you and I leaned over to you and I was like, hey, I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, no, it's just like not only that, he's like popping pills, drinking, doing coke. Especially when the Irish dude's like, take a bump, man.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, this is shit. That's probably how he fucking came up with the idea for this movie.
He's like, just take another bump. That's really funny.
You know what? And the scene too, when they like the house party scene, the one dude that like was trying to kiss both the girls.
Oh yeah, he was like, let's have a kiss off, and then like he's getting 2 of the actors, like the women just like, mwah, with like 2 of their faces. He's like, oh come on, let's have a kiss off. Which is like super awkward to just watch. Like I was like, is this fun?
Yeah,
is this fun for anybody?
And then I see the thing that I love too is that obviously it's like a house party going on, right? Mm. And then it like the camera goes over to like the Weeknd's room and he just looks like a fucking loser sitting in the corner playing his fucking piano.
He's fucking thinking about the production of this movie and shit. He's like, oh my god, this is gonna be ass. Shit. And the movie tries maybe a little too hard to portray the sadness of the Weeknd. It's just like it just tries too hard all the fucking time, and there's supposed to be like, and there's a lot of elements of surrealism because this movie makes no fucking sense, of just like him seeing being in sleep paralysis, having demons, being in the bathroom while extremely fucked up and almost drowning and all that, which is like could be like a very engaging thing to explore, especially in film and self-reflection and all that. But like it's not, it doesn't work at all because you really don't have any like stakes in here. Like nothing really like kind of matters in this fucking movie. Oh, yeah. And then when that is only proved further when like fucking they still go when The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega fucking go to the fucking fair for like 10-15 minutes of the movie's fucking runtime and they have no chemistry whatsoever. Like you two invested in this project but couldn't fucking try to fucking even look like your characters are interested in each other. It was just like a slog.
That's the one thing that your friend, shout out to your friend that went with us. That's the one thing that he pointed out is that he noticed he said something, I think like he said something like, oh, like he said something like how he was genuinely surprised that there was no like kissing scene between the Weeknd and Jenna Ortega. Mm-hmm. And
oh yeah, I didn't even like notice that either.
Yeah, no, like, but it's like that. I mean, it kind of makes sense now with you saying like that they had zero chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's probably why.
Yeah, no, it's like like you could tell they're just like trying so hard. The director's like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's do. Like it just feels like a bunch of scrambling in action. Like from a structural, directing, editorial, creative standpoint, it just feels so. Like it's trying to do so many things. It's trying to do like it's messy. It's fucking messy. But then it just gets fucking. They fuck. But before they fuck, something really funny did happen.
Which
it's
we
like,
don't see.
Which is like we don't see them fuck.
Which was another surprising.
Yeah, because the Idol we probably see a lot of his shit, right? Yeah, and and
Idol's pretty. Yeah.
And like. The reason why I also took my friend because he actually watched the entirety of the fucking Idol, which is a crazy.
Which I don't know how he accomplished that because I was only able to make it through 2 episodes after I was like, you know what, no.
Yeah, this is why I could take him to see any movie because like that is like you can't tell me about nothing about no run times when you watch the entirety of the Idol. Get the fuck out of here, shout out to the homie though. But like before they fucking The Weeknd shows Jenna Ortega fucking demo, which is like first of all the demo's way too long, and then like Jenna Ortega just starts crying. There's a lot of crying in this fucking movie. People are always sad. People are always emotional. She's like, yeah, cause like that song reminded me of me and my fucking dad who left, and then like someone laughed when Jenna Ortega said,
yeah,
it's like my dad left, and the dude's like,
oh, and then I was gonna say too. Now that you bring up laughs. The thing that kept taking me out is one of the kids that was sitting next to us. Mm-hmm. He had a laugh that was very similar to one of our friends. Mm-hmm. So every time I fucking heard him laugh, it just took me out even more because it just reminded me of our other friend.
Yeah. So it's like George Washington.
Yeah. So like George was there in spirit.
I've got to ask him if he's seen this fucking movie. And then like and then. Fucking, they go to sleep. They fucking wake up, and then she's like, "You gonna stay?" And then the Weeknd's like, "No." And then the fucking Jenna Ortega's like, "You're wrong. You're toxic, and you're in a bad place." And the Weeknd's like, "This is a famous clip that's been going around."
Yeah, that's the one that you probably saw leaked on Twitter.
He's like, and by the way, it leaked from the world premiere. It like someone at the first viewing of this movie was like, "I'm taking this phone out right fucking now and filming." This and he's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. But within the context of the scene, but the homie was like, you know what, that bad acting worked in this scene. Honestly,
this was also legit probably one of the best scenes in the movie because so like shortly after like that clip cuts off, like in the full context of the movie, mm-hmm. like you see the Weeknd like trying to leave, right? And then fucking Jenna Ortega just knocks him the fuck out. And when that happened, the kids next to us started fucking clapping and cheering.
Like if fucking like Iron Man got the gauntlet from fucking Thanos and shit. It was like this is like their Avengers.
This was like when like all the Avengers showed up like to fight Thanos. That was like the level of excitement that they fucking had for that scene.
Like, chill. Like, y'all don't need to do this. And then he has, like, a whole nightmare surreal scene as the elevator goes out the thing. And it's just like, okay, this just feels derivative of, like, his movie It Comes at Night, where it's just, like, pure, like, artsy dark horror. I think it looks good. I think like even where it's like a big space and he only has the flashlight trying to look for some way out. I think it looks well, and in any other context I would really appreciate this shot, but since it's in this fucking movie, I'm like, fuck your appreciation, like fuck your hard work, like it's like, cause it just everything goes on for way too fucking long. I'm skipping that scene, and then we get to probably one of the most annoying scenes. Most annoying scene.
Real quick, before we get into any further in the movie, we gotta talk about a co-star that might not be mentioned as much, but fucking that gasoline tank that fucking.
Oh yeah, she just always has a gasoline tank. First of all, it looks like she lives in like fucking Colorado and Nebraska, and she drives off in a fucking rusty dusty fucking like fucking station wagon to fucking probably it's L.A. It's L.A. Yeah, like she and I'm just like,
it's L.A.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the party beach. Whatever, it's fucking LA. But like, it's like, how the fuck did that car make it from like the fucking Midwest to wherever the fuck she goes to LA? Like, that's kind of crazy. And throughout a lot of the time, you don't even see her carry the fucking gasoline tank. It just fucking appears all the time out of
then
nowhere.
Your freaking friend pointed out that like that shit legit looked bigger than her.
I know this shit looked like it weighed way more than Jenna. It probably weighs like fucking 5 pounds.
You know what I was saying? That's how I was like, you know what they probably did? You know how like those scenes where she had to like be spilling gasoline?
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you that shit was only filled up halfway because I don't think she would have been.
Yeah, every time they like middle of long take just filled a little more. But like one of the most annoying scenes of the movie easily is like when the fucking Weeknd's all tied up because Jenna Ortega's a crazy fan, but she's also a crazy fan.
This is the thing too.
That's also she's a crazy fan that like is a huge.
This went from like some weird like fucking like kind of like insight into the Weeknd's life, like taking you from backstage and all that.
Yeah.
To literally like the last half of this movie was essentially, at least to me, it felt like a very shitty parody of Misery.
Yeah, no, where it's like, oh, let me talk to you about your work because clearly you don't get it. And like she literally plays songs back to back, dances to them in front of those were really bad moves.
When she started doing the stomping shit,
I know. I was just like, what the fuck? This is fucking Sinners and shit. And then she's like describing and explaining these fucking tracks to the Weeknd, and not very well either. They're the most basic thing ever if you've listened to anything Weeknd at all. Like not even deep analysis
it's
of like
what a fucking AI response would get.
I know, and it's just like her. For like at least 15, like all these 15-minute segments feel fucking forever, and they all add up like in a super derogatory way. And like it's really I've never seen such self-indulgence put forth, and that's coming from someone who's seen a lot of self-indulgent work.
So here's the thing, that like, so she manages to like to get off 2 songs to fucking explain.
Yeah.
And she was going
3.
for a third. And I'm telling you, if she would have gotten that third, I would have been like, you know what? No.
You would have walked out?
Probably.
You would have walked out. And then, like, the manager comes in, and, like, probably the best scene in this movie, honestly, is, like, them having a little scuffle in a fight. Because, first of all, it's 2 good actors, in a scene that doesn't have the Weeknd. And it's, like, the fight choreo is pretty engaging and all that stuff. And I do think those actors did a really good job in the scene. But, like, then Jenna Ortega fucking unalives the Irish dude, he's fucking,
like, that's not Irish. Like, I think this movie doesn't have murder in it.
It's fucking, and it's just like, not only is he like bursting out from his neck, she's like has blood all over, which is cool, I guess. And like we have cool close-ups of like the gnarly blood and gore and shit, it's just like whatever. But like at this point, I'm just like, what the fuck ever. And then she's crying, and then she tries to burn the fucking Weeknd, and then he sings the song for way too long. The song's good. The song he's singing, it's a cappella, and it's a huge long take close up on his fucking face. So he's already crying. He's cried so much in this movie, then he just sings.
But the way the setup to this was fucking because she's explaining. This is right after she fucking murders the manager, right?
Yes.
So she goes back and she's like on top of him on the bed, and she's asking him to like basically be vulnerable and like really like express himself, right? And what he's feeling.
He's like, no,
and so he keeps on saying no, and so he responds by
what
singing.
What the fuck, you bitch? What the fuck?
But he responds by fucking singing. That's what I thought was hilarious. Like he just breaks
he had to go out. He had to go out.
He just breaks into an odd like so the way that like not like obviously the singing and stuff it was good because it's the Weeknd.
Yeah.
But it's like just the way that we got to that random point. It was fucking hilarious.
And it's so drawn out too. Everything in this fucking movie. If you haven't noticed since of this my constant rephrasing of this, it's like everything is just so fucking dragged out, and it's like, oh no, fucking Jenna Ortega's dancing to my music in front of me. Oh no, like is this like I don't know what the fuck the Weeknd was trying to do in this movie. Oh, like Trey Edward Schultz was trying to do in this movie either. Like everything is just like a mess where it's like, I'm toxic, a minute. Okay, the end. Like it's just like really like, and then like that's where it ends too. She just lays down. He walks out the hotel, and everything's a dream because he's back in the fucking concert green room where he fucking sits down and prepares, and then the movie ends there. Not to mention the credits came in 30 minutes in, and the credits lasted at least 10 minutes throughout that fucking segment.
The fucking Lionsgate placement.
Yeah, it's like Lionsgate first, and then Lionsgate again. and then it's just like everyone's everyone's name is repeated for some reason,
I
and
really
it's
was
like
not expecting the second Lionsgate thing to pop up.
yeah, no, it's like a little insane. This movie's fucking messy. It's like super self-indulgent. Like there's like sure I could admire the quote unquote artistic risk, I guess, and like the technicalities you might need to like be able to pull some of the visuals off here, but like all of it is like in vain to something that is super fucking basic and super fucking nonsensical at the fucking same time, where I don't think any unless you're a fucking I don't even think you have to be a diehard. If you're a diehard Weekend fan, you're like this, because as a movie, it's really just not engaging at all. It should have just been like a 1 hour experimental YouTube video that's up for free, that has Jenna, that has Barry, and it's like and that should have been it. Like it would have been so much more successful if it was cut down to an hour, uploaded on YouTube, and it would have been fine. But like this in theaters as a 1 hour and 40 minute, which feels like fucking, you could watch The Irishman twice and not feel less dragged that this fucking movie fucking gives. It's like I've seen fucking shit. Like I've seen an 11-hour movie that feels faster than fucking this. And that's just fucking crazy, because they're just walking in fucking place. But like, it feels faster than this because it's a fucking mess. But it's also like, I'm here complaining and ranting about it, but I had a fucking good time. This shit was fucking funny to me. Like, and I could admire the artistic risk Trey and Abel were fucking trying to do. It doesn't mean it fucking worked at all, but for me, it's like a bad it's good, so bad it's good territory, where I could like put it on, appreciate pretty visuals, and get nauseated by them, and laugh at the shit I'm watching.
Yeah, that's how. Honestly, I share that same sentiment. It's one of those movies where it's like so bad that it's kind of funny.
Yeah. But it has a lot of staring. No, there's barely any dialogue here at fucking all.
Just the face, like the long face shots we've gotten.
Much face shots, so much crying, so much fucking just staring down. And that gas station scene was fucking stupid too. When she's like stealing the gas, and it's like none of this makes sense. And it's like, yeah, this movie is nonsensical, but it is entertaining if you get fucking blasted and have a good couple friends around. Yeah, like
listen, if you get high, like the only way you'll get some enjoyment out of this is you're just like super fucking high when you watch this.
Yeah. So that's the only time I could recommend this movie. Shout out to The Weeknd for doing it, I guess. You have all the resources and talent in the world, but you made this. Okay. And shout out to Travis Schultz for getting a bag, I guess, and being artsy while getting a bag too. And like shout out to Jenna Ortega, who needs to fire her fucking agent,
she
please.
Really does.
Please just like fucking cut them off.
But you know what? So to wrap that up.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
I was gonna say, before we get into our recommendations, did you want to do the album for next month?
Oh, what's your rating?
Oh, my rating, I gave it 1.5 stars.
Listen, you 1.5? So like,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It's at least better than fucking Novocaine.
Yeah, you really fucking hate that movie.
That
like
movie,
you're the only person I know who fucking hates that fucking movie.
Yeah, because you haven't watched it yet. Then you.
Then I'll be the second one.
Yeah.
I'll be the second one. Okay. Yeah, I gave Hurry Up Tomorrow 2 out of 10. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking super self-indulgent, and like self-indulgent work I really enjoy. Like All That Jazz is my second favorite movie of all time, and that's a super self-indulgent movie, but that movie is fucking awesome, and the way he tackles himself is very brave and conscious, but also admits he's a fucking dickhead asshole. But like no, this movie is not anything good. Even when the parts are good, are served to make the movie even worse. So I give it a 2 out of 10 though, because it is very entertaining, and I would watch this again in a very derogatory way. Also, my friend said this movie, this movie made him hate himself for being depressed.
That shit took me the fuck out when we left the theater.
Oh my god, we had like a whole conversation.
Yeah, we had like a whole like 20-minute conversation afterwards.
That was because like so much to digest, so much to discuss, and that's what art is, All right, anyway, let's we'll do the thing next week.
All right,
next week. Let's start of the month. My recommendation is what should I recommend? You know what? I am going to recommend you know what? Let's do some 70s psychedelic progressive rock today. I just recently discovered this album, and I've been playing it nonstop. Close to the Edge from the band Yes, a very psychedelic progressive rock. This album only has 3 songs. Guess how long is it?
How long?
37 minutes.
Wait, 3 songs?
Yeah.
How long are each of the songs?
The first song's 18 minutes, and it's fucking crazy and incredible, and goes to so many places.
So they're just instrumentals?
It's a whole like Pink Floyd type shit, where it's like very artsy, long form songs, like a lot of like instrumentals that take you to like another place and stuff with a bunch of vocals, and but like the way this band did is very, and I listen to a lot of progressive and like unorthodox progressive rock, especially within that era. That's my fucking shit right there. And I want to go back to that, and this band is a really good way to like reintroduce myself to that genre. And I think despite how long the songs are, each one of them was super engaging with so much orchestrational talent within how they flip like the beats and like the sounds within the songs, so it's like and I recommend that album. 37 minutes, 3 songs, and each song is fucking banger. Close to the Edge by Yes.
I think my recommendation for today is actually going to be, it's a cover of a very famous like R&B type song from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the artist who originally sang it went by the name Bobby Caldwell or something like that. But it's the song chances are you've heard it. It's called "Do for Love." It was a very popular like R&B type song from back in the day. And this is a cover of it, or like a new rendition of it by an artist. Now I'm not positive how you pronounce her name, so I apologize if I butcher it. But it looks like it's Snow Allegra.
Mm-hmm.
She does a rendition of it, and it's called "Do" and then the number 4, "Love," and it's just essentially like her own rendition of that original track by Bobby Caldwell. And I just thought that it sounds really, really nice. It's like a newer, slower, like more melodic take on it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's by Snow Allegra, and it's called "Do for Love."
All right, and that goes for this episode. I think it'll be like shorter than the episodes we've been doing.
Yeah.
But shout out to all of you, and we had a lot of fun recording this despite the fucking technical fucking mishaps. Oh my god.
So for those of you who don't aren't gonna obviously don't know the behind the scenes, we actually had to stop the recording twice.
Yes. So it's just the filming took a little longer than expected, but we still had a lot of fun during this review.
Yeah.
And so like, comment, subscribe. Follow us, and not only the podcast, us on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us
we have our like individual handles in the bio of our podcast Instagram page.
Yeah, and like if you want to know, maybe get hints of like maybe what movies we will
if
and will
you
not
follow
watch.
our personal pages
and
that's
Letterboxd.
That's probably where you will get like a little bit more hints as to what we might be talking about on the podcast.
Because I love us tagging each other, being like, we're gonna watch this shit, and then us posting and be fuck you.
Yeah,
like you did with the weekend.
Then maybe like next week I'll speak a little bit about, because just recently actually I watched Goodfellas for the first time.
I know.
So,
I am down to review that next week. Honestly,
so we can probably have a discussion about that on the next episode.
For sure.
Until then, we'll see you on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, comment, like, subscribe, brush your teeth, clean your asshole. Peace.